Hello, and welcome back to The Longest Journey. This is Dan, and basically underwear wearing April. We are in chapter 4, I believe. I believe it was called Monsters, and April had gone to sleep after going through trying to find out anything she could about the Vanguard, and we're waiting for Flipper to create our fake ID so that we can go up to the top, like in Final Fantasy VII, the top plate, where all the rich people are. But upon falling asleep for the next day, we got sucked into Arcadia through our wardrobe, like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And we're going to start off this incredible journey by reading her diary. Great, right? It's so action-packed my videos are. But usually these things do give a lot of insight into the story. Oftentimes they serve as a recap for myself, so I know where I'm going and where I left off. But let's see. I think did we read this? I think we did. Yes. This happened just after we were at the church and overheard the conversation between Raul and Cortez. And this one is the one that happened after we came back into Arcadia. Sunday night or Monday morning. I'm not sure which it is, but it's late. A strange sound wakes me up in the middle of the night, and when I open my eyes, my room is filled with a cold blue light coming from the closet. Oh, okay, obviously a dream. No question about it. Things like these don't happen in real life. Except in my life, they do. All the time. There was a shift in my closet, and before I knew it, I found myself here in Arcadia. Again. And while last time Cortez helped me through and back, this time I'm afraid there will be no help forthcoming. I'm on my own, and I don't like it. Yeah, I don't really like going into things for the first time on my own and stuff, but, life being the way it is, sometimes that's just the way it's gotta be. So, I guess she created a shift and walked through it this time. So, I don't know what, I don't know that I've been told explicitly how the shift works. So, what we experienced here, the shift was a portal that opened that she walked through, and she must have created it while she was sleeping. And prior, they had mentioned something about Arcadia and being able to go through the dream, and they mentioned that, or it was implied that she was able to shift into Arcadia and such through her dreams. Kind of like when the game first started, we were in that world, I want to say, that had the tree spirit, and the dragon and such. Is that different? Like, I recall talking to Brian Westhouse, and he had mentioned that there's a dream world, and I guess that's separate. It's the path of the journey that takes place in between Arcadia and Stark, maybe. And in that plane of existence, time moves differently, which is why he didn't seem 300, or was it 200 years old. But in any case, the time passes differently. And is that the thing that April had been going through? She'd been going through the dream world, but then how does that relate directly to Stark and to Arcadia? Because if she has been experiencing these dreams, is that the same as experiencing a shift? Or is this only the second time in her life she's had a shift, and every other time has been the dream world? I don't know. Let's take a look around at our surroundings.
There's something so soothing and poetic about the way the moonlight is reflected on the clean and clear surface of the water.
Interesting that it's clean and clear. I've found very few places in my life where that has been the case for maybe not natural, but an occurring water.
The journeyman. The journeyman. Very appropriate, though it really should have been the journeywoman.
Don't take offense, April. It could be that the owner is the man and they're just, inserting their own perception into it. This says it goes to the darkness. Let's not go there just yet. Let's go into the inn, even though you're in your undies. And everyone else is fairly appropriately dressed. I don't know. I don't know what the dress is around here. What the heck? Dancers?
They're definitely having fun.
Yeah, you would think so.
It's their first date, I can tell. They're a cute couple. I wonder if romance is different here, or if the rituals are the same as back home. I mean, magic must play some part in it.
April, have you never fallen in love? Love itself is magic. It is the most magical that Stark gets. It's probably the only form of magic we get.
Cute couple.
Oh, and we can talk to her. Okay, that's a thing.
Open fires are so enchanting, romantic, and inspiring. That looks like a really, really comfortable chair.
I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't look like there's much cushioning, so I'm not sure how comfortable it is.
Assorted bottles, herbs, and spices. They don't look so different from farmers and craftsmen back home. It's a small world. Worlds. Small worlds.
Yeah, there's multiple. At a minimum,
She
there's
looks
two.
like she works here.
I wonder if she's gonna kick her out for being inappropriately dressed.
Excuse me. Hello? Hi, hello, do you work here?
Do I work here, child? I'm the owner. I own and operate the Journeyman Inn.
Oh, it's a woman who owns it. Interesting. Why would you call it the Journeyman and not the Journeywoman? Unless they never had women's suffrage here in this world. I don't know. She does look like an innkeeper. I mean, look, she's wearing an apron, guys. Everyone else is just wearing regular clothes. So I do think she looks like an innkeeper. Let's say we didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know.
Of course you did not, child, but be careful. Others may not be as quick to forgive as I am when you address them disrespectfully.
Disrespectfully. Yeah, she... Notice how she stressed disrespectfully. She, okay, maybe she's forgiving, but did she really give for 100%? Maybe 30% forgiven.
Is there a party going on?
Is there a... child. Do you not know? It is the Feast of the Balance. Have you never taken part in the celebration?
In fact, we have not.
Unfortunately, no. I'm not a party person.
For as long as I can recall, the feast has lasted 3 whole days and nights, and everyone celebrated openly. Now, this year, there is great concern about the Vanguard and their supporters. So this year, the Feast of the Balance is celebrated inside, behind closed doors, and for 1 night only. But there's still much food and drink. And you are welcome to join if you so please.
Wow.
I don't think so. I don't know anybody here.
You're not with the Vanguard, are you?
No.
No, I'm from somewhere else, far away.
So it would seem. Well, if you feel up to it, child, you're welcome to join in the celebration.
Thanks.
That's an interesting idea, though. Like, something that was so huge that they celebrated it pretty much everywhere. Like, for 3 days and 3 nights, it almost kind of sounds like Mardi Gras or Carnival, maybe. And, like, it's just a big celebration. Everybody can join in. But the threat of the Vanguard and their followers, like, people are so afraid that they take this big celebration that theoretically they've been celebrating for centuries, right? Because the balances have been in place for multiple centuries. Because each Guardian can be in place for 1,000 years before they have to be replaced. And they've replaced the Guardian several times, so it's been a few thousand at least. But for thousands of years, they celebrate the balance. And now, this new, or maybe not new, but this outside source, the Vanguard, is so, as a point of power, is so tipping that they celebrate for 1 night and indoors That's how much of a threat they pose. It's crazy, but that's how much of an issue the Vanguard poses to the balance. But what is nice is that anybody can join, and like for free, because she didn't ask for any payment or anything. She said, "You want to join in? Feel free to join in. It's great." Even though April is like, well, maybe she's just looking at April and she's like, "Oh, you're in your underwear. You got no money. I'm not gonna try to weasel any money out of you." But for the fact that if she's giving this for free and doing this for free for everybody to celebrate, I mean, if she's not charging anybody else, that's a really big service to her community, don't you think?
Why do you celebrate the Feast of the Balance?
You are a stranger to our customs indeed. The balance. You do know about the balance, do you not?
Somewhat.
Sure. The balance between magic and science. I know about the balance.
The balance of all, child. Everything is in balance, and the Guardian watches over the balance and us. We celebrate the Feast of the Balance to give our thanks to the balance and to the Guardian. If our devotion to the balance falters, if we lose our faith in the Guardian, then we are inviting chaos to destroy us. This is what the Vanguard is doing. Inviting chaos. They are dangerous.
I think that's interesting, the wording, because others have commented in the game. I'm not commenters to the video, but people in the game have commented that the land of the world of Arcadia is chaos, but then they're talking about chaos being wrought, because they specify order and chaos, order being Stark and chaos being Arcadia, and magic causing the chaos, or is the chaos, and yet they talk about chaos taking over and being an issue. But it's like, couldn't they have come up with another name for it instead of chaos? You know, like I don't know of a word. Maybe they could have used, instead of like order and chaos, maybe order and disorder, and then called it chaos, or I don't know. I don't have any words on the spot, but I mean, if you gave me a couple of days, I could have come up with a word. But it for someone who like me, who nitpicks at some of these words, like it kind of like it irks me, because you're using chaos, the word, in two different ways, and I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't think they're differentiating it. If they are differentiating it with like a lowercase c for chaos and an uppercase c for chaos for like specific, like one is a name and one is a concept, I didn't notice it. But if they had put like quotation marks around the word, then I would have understood, oh, chaos as in this representation, or this proper name, chaos, versus the concept of chaos, then I could be more easily clued into what they're talking about. You know, and I don't. How many of you had the same experience with that? Are you like? I don't know if it's just me, but that's where I got.
What's the Vanguard doing to destroy the balance?
They are not doing anything to destroy the balance, but they destroy people's faith in the balance. They speak to the people, telling them how the Sentinel, the Fathers, are holding our world back. And that if we were to use the balance to our advantage, we could return to the old ways, the ways of the ancient Earth, before the divide. Vanguard promised the people power and wealth and happiness, but they intend only destruction, death.
Now, my initial thought was, like, hey, you know, if people were educated and understood and learned about history, maybe they wouldn't have fallen prey to the Vanguard and their ideals, because they would be like, well, there was a reason. Here's the reason we had to separate everything, but that's not the case. And even in our world, we do have people who are educated, who have learned history, who even fairly recent history, and yet they make the same mistakes that our forefathers and ancestors have made that have caused strife and mischief and distrust and even up to and including global warfare. And we still continue to do these things because instead of allowing our logical side to take precedence, and this is in the world of Stark, mind you, the world of order, people have decided or allowed their own baser instincts to take over, their greed, their selfishness. Like, I want power. I want to be the I want to believe that I am superior, that I am the better than all these other people. And that allows them to override the more logical thinking as like, I've seen this before, this has happened, we have to be careful. But instead, they just go with it, they run with it, allowing their own personal prejudices or biases to rule their logical mind rather than the other way around. Sure, having a completely analytical mind and being totally pragmatic is not great either. There should be a balance. And like in the game, like, the balance is important. But if you remember, the first father of the Sentinels, he said there will come a point, and there will definitely come a point where we have to combine both worlds. So even in the game, there is, like, you have to destroy the balance, but at the same time, it's bringing two things that were separate back into the one thing that they were. Maybe it's just trying to straddle both sides of the divide here.
What's your name?
Benrima Salmon. I'm the owner and proprietor of this inn. I bought it with money earned through honest trade in the Southlands. Tobacco, wine, slaves. That is where I'm from. The Southlands.
Interesting, they have slaves
I'm
here.
April Ryan.
Well met, April Ryan. Have you come to meet someone, a handsome young suitor, perchance?
No
Why?
such luck, I'm afraid. I'm here more by accident than anything else.
Ah, no accident, April. Fate. Fate delivered you here tonight. You are strong in fate, are you not?
Yeah, what does she mean by strong in fate? Because when she said strong in, my mind immediately went to strong in the force. That's how much of a geek and a nerd I am, you guys, that the first thing I thought of was Star Wars.
What do you mean by strong in fate?
You shape your own fate, and not the other way around. You are what the dark people call a wave.
Dark people?
How can you tell?
I am not only an innkeeper, child. I am a seer, taught by my mother, who was taught by her mother before her. And so it goes back to the dawn of our world, to the dawn of magic.
That's convenient. Yeah, a seer, kind of like the prophecy, like the prophet of Delphi.
What's a seer?
A seer is someone who can tell something about people, about events, about the past and the present and the future, just by looking at you. When I look at you, I see.
What? What do you see?
Yeah, don't just leave us hanging.
Most people are drawn along by events, by fate, like a carriage after a horse. But some people know how to steer the horse, to change paths at will. You are such a person, but there is more.
She's divining our future. Yeah, don't just leave it. Jeez. These, like... Now, I know especially for the fakers out there, when they do, like, oh, I can read your future, they're purposely ambiguous, so as to leave you thinking, oh, they know these things, whereas they're not even saying anything at all. She, in a world where magic actually does exist, just did it because Why? Because she's just like pulling you along just because? Is she like is she just, I don't know, just playing with you for a form of entertainment? She actually does see something. She knows something, but she just looks like, I'm just gonna read your future and that's it.
Tell me more about my future.
It is strange. I see many paths, but they are all dark. I cannot tell much except that you are strong in fate and strong in the balance. And you are strong in magic, too.
Magic? It can't be right. I don't know anything about magic.
You do not have to know about magic to be strong with magic. If you ever learn how to harvest your talents, you will be a strong artisan.
Artisan?
Is that like a magician?
Where have you been schooled, child? Have you forgotten your lore?
Let's just say we have.
My lore? Yeah, well, I haven't really had much use for my lore lately.
The artisan is the most powerful of magic users.
Ah.
She is able to shape magic and to use it by force of will alone. An artist can use magic shaped by others, mold it into new magic, new art.
An
A
artist, you say?
magician, or sorcerer, witch, warlock, can read and write incantations, drawing spells from the power of words. And the alchemist can create magic potions. He is the least of the four. Anyone with proper education can be an alchemist. The other three require some form of talent for magic.
Thank you.
I am at your service any time, child. I am afraid I must go take care of my guests now. Enjoy yourself.
So, that exchange right there, it brought me to a point where, whoa, what are you? Strange creature. That's not very nice. Anyways, I was thinking, like, I made a prediction or a theory in the beginning that April originally came from Arcadia, you know? And if she is strong in magic, that kind of adds to that, don't you think? That she came from Arcadia? She's not of a magic being, because when they divided the worlds into Stark and Arcadia, the magic beings couldn't survive in Stark, so that they had to stay in Arcadia. But what if, as a human who has magic abilities, she was born or sent to Stark to be raised, which may play a factor into why she had a bad home life growing up. But if she was born of Arcadia and she was raised in Stark and she is understanding of the two worlds, that would make her strong in the balance, as the innkeeper had said. But in like the whole fate thing, like maybe with the amount of power that she has, she can control her own fate, or is able to be pushed, or not to be pushed, but to push along fate. And that maybe has also to do with the fact that she has come into contact with beings such as Cortez, who are putting her into the knowledge that she of these two worlds and of the power that she contains. But speaking of the power, not only does she have the power of magic, but she is strong in it. And she was talking about Artisan, who seems like the top dog of magic. They can do everything. And then from that, she called it an artist. And if you recall, what is April going to school for? For art. She is an artist. She is an art student, you know, weaving and creating. And maybe that's not a coincidence. Maybe that is something. There's something there, you know? And that would certainly add to my theory. I could totally be wrong, but I think I'm onto something here.
What a strange creature.
Let's talk.
Thank you, April Ryan.
He heard us.
What?
There is no time here, but there soon will be time for you and I. Time enough, to be sure. You are speaking to me, April Ryan. We have spoken.
I don't understand what you're... And how do you know my name? Who are you?
Have we not met yet? I was sorry, then, for confusing you. I will be Abnaxus of the Venar, ambassador to the Ireed Council in Marcuria for a time.
I think I would have remembered you if we'd met. Who told you my name?
We did.
You did. You are saying your name to me, April Ryan. In this moment, you tell me your name. You question why I know your name, and you speak to me the blessings of the balance for my long journey home.
Sorry, I really don't know what you're talking about.
I think I've got a clue.
It is difficult for us too, April Ryan, to understand you. We, the Venar, are not perceiving time.
That's
like
what I was
your
thinking.
People. In this moment, we are everywhere. In this moment, we are nowhere.
He was speaking as if he was.
But there is a veil. Beyond this veil, we are not seeing, but you have. You will be seeing. You are seeing.
What veil?
The veil created in chaos, by chaos, with chaos. It is a dark presence in our future, yes, future. A dark veil which hides the things that have been and will be.
What's all this got to do with me?
It was late. You were tired. We have talked in the morning when you come to visit me. Now you understand everything. Thank you, April Ryan. The blessings of the balance to you too.
Did you just invite me to your home?
I will. I did. I invite you to my home, April Ryan. My home was in the Marcuria City Green, and you will find it in the morning, before chaos came. I am explaining everything, and you understood.
It seems I've already accepted your invitation, so I guess I don't have a choice.
Well,
That is what you said. Good night. You will sleep well.
here's the thing. Right, so this is a being who lives in a consciousness that is existent within all of time, or can perceive all of time all at once, which was why he spoke in such a manner.
I
Because
really am getting tired. I should find somewhere comfortable to sit down, rest my legs for a few minutes.
we will. But I just want to explain to the people that are watching, okay, April? But like, he exists in all of time, which is why he's talking about future events that haven't come to pass yet, and that's why he's thanking April
I
first.
wish I could sit down for just 5 minutes.
Well, give me 5 minutes. So he's talking to April, and first thing he says is thank you, because they've already met and everything. So, but that, like, seeing into the future, or knowing of the future, being perceiving of the future, like,
I wish I
doesn't
could
that
sit down for just 5 minutes.
doesn't that butt heads against April having the power to bend fate or move fate in a different direction? Don't you think? Kind of a difference there. Unless he can perceive multiple timelines, which he would probably go crazy at that point, I would
I
think.
wish I could. It's a very comfortable chair.
Okay, yes. I see that this is what we're supposed to do. Okay, April. I know you keep complaining, so you know what? I will let you sit down. Okay? Go ahead. There you are. You happy now? Alright, so we can... Oh, she's falling asleep. So... Do we just go back to Stark all of a sudden? Oh. Ooh, what's this? Was that Cortez? It kind of... Yeah, I think it is. Cortez said he was being chased. Maybe they got him. Wake up, honey. It's morning. Must have drank a lot.
Wake up, child.
Sorry, I guess I fell asleep.
Yeah, well, she rested well, I guess, according to Abnaxus.
What time is it?
It is morning. We need to clean before we open for breakfast, so I had to wake you.
It doesn't look like there's much to
I
clean.
slept right through the party?
It seems so. You did not stir even when everyone was leaving.
That's
Oh
exhaustion.
well, I feel pretty good considering.
You look a little pale, but it's nothing a good porridge won't fix.
Well, I've got no money. No money on me whatsoever.
It's the innkeeper. She looks busy.
To the back?
The back rooms are both empty.
Well, that's where the party was. Alright, let's go talk to her real quick.
Not to sound rude, but I've had my fill of her for the moment.
Oh man, that's kind of funny. It was a little unexpected, so I was
Do
like,
you intend to walk about in that outfit, child? It is day, it would not be proper.
what made it proper
It's all
earlier?
I have.
Come, we will find something more suited to a young lady about the city.
Oh, maybe it was kind of like Mardi Gras or Carnival, that wearing your underwear was appropriate for that day, and she's only saying something about it now. So do we look like a local now?
How do I look?
Almost the same as you normally do.
Well, it'll have to do for now. You do not have the most womanly of forms, but I'm certain you will fill out in time.
Wait, what do you
With
mean?
the right diet.
Oh.
Thanks. Thank you for the clothes, for everything.
You will have time aplenty to thank me while you are cleaning plates and cutlery, child.
I'm sorry. Work?
Yes.
Those clothes do not come free, child, nor does a night spent sleeping before the fire. I'm not asking much, only for a helping hand in cleaning.
That's fair. I think that's fair because, yeah, I was like, this is an inn. This is an innkeeper, and she was just sitting there sleeping. Although, she can't charge too much because it sure, maybe it was a comfy chair, but it's not a bed. You know what I mean? And the clothes, I mean, I don't know. Nobody wears clothes like this around here. She's the only one that wears it. And it almost looks exactly what she was wearing prior, just different colors.
All right. Tell me where to start.
You can start carrying in the mugs from the back room.
All right, you got it. If it's just cleaning, I think that's fair. If that's all she's asking for.
You did good work for me today, child. More than was required. Here you are. Some coin to help you out.
There we go. We got some spending cash.
And keep the clothes. You seem to have grown into them already.
Excuse me?
Yes? Oh, it is you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, child.
So I guess we've exhausted our dialogue options with her. You know, April, I know just as much as anyone else what it's like to, you know, sleep in certain clothing wear, I will say. And, you know, it's comfortable. But at the same time, at this point, considering how things have been working out for you, I think to your benefit, it would be good if you started sleeping in clothing. Just in case you end up in Arcadia yet once again.
I wonder if she's caught anything today.
Ah, okay, so she's fishing. But she looks like she might be poor, so catching food however you can.
Square jaw.
You know?
And broad shoulders. A real farm boy. Quite a sexy one, too.
Does his name happen to be Clark Kent?
It's a small wagon pulled by one of those strange beasts.
Is it this beast? Furry animal.
That's a funny-looking animal.
Can we pet the animal?
Good beast. His hide feels like a turtle's, but softer. Yeah, good boy. Good boy.
Or girl? Alright, so let's head to the city. So this is Mercuria, so it's just a different area. Yeah, it's a different area than we were. Journeyman Inn. The City Green. This is where we were invited to go. But I'm going to go to the marketplace because if you recall, we have one more map or one more customer to deliver a map to.
Hey, you. What's going on? Why didn't you deliver any maps yesterday?
Oh, we did.
I wasn't around. Sorry.
Well, there are more maps to be delivered, and my customers are getting very impatient. Did you deliver the map to the rolling man?
Indeed, we did.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me see his signature, and I'll give you your next delivery.
All right, and this is the delivery list. Here you are.
Here's your next delivery, a map of the Northlands to a Tun Lyak staying at the Journeyman Inn. And be quick about it. She's been waiting since the day before yesterday.
Yeah. Well, we know exactly where that is, so let's head on over there. And the reason why I'm doing this first is because it seems pretty straightforward, so what's going to happen is we're probably, just like the other ones, we're probably going to have to do something in order to get her signature, and the process of going about doing these things will probably lead to items and such that will give us some required things for the story progression. Maybe items or information or
Excuse
anything
me?
like that.
Yes? Oh, it is you.
Gotta walk out to come talk to us.
I'm looking for a guest of yours, Tun Lyak.
The sailor? She is looking for work today, I'm afraid. With most of the ships moored to the docks for balance knows how long, it is difficult for sailors to find work.
Do you know when Tun Lyak is expected back?
I could not tell you, child, but from what I know of the ships in harbor, she will not find one that needs a navigator any time soon.
Yeah. It's due to the lack of the winds, that's why.
Do you know when Tun Lyak is expected back?
I could not tell you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, child.
Let's just check by the docks to see if they're there. Because they might be. And if they are, then we can move forward. Otherwise, we'll probably have to wait for something else.
Assorted cargo.
Oh, I thought I was going to try to talk to that creature.
Hello. Bye.
Alright, so I guess he's not seen them. Unless you are Tun Lyak, old sailor. I do know we need a bird for you.
Hello again, old man.
It be you.
It's like he's got to look cool every time he talks, so he pulls out his pipe, because he thinks smoking is cool, or makes you cool looking. Alright.
See you later.
If I not be dead, I...
Alright, so it seems that this person It's not here. Maybe there's just a lull in the story before they become available to be seen. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other people here that are interactable, so it might just be that we have to get to them later. I wonder if we should go and play that cup game, though. Because we do have a coin now that we could use, and we could try to get that bird from him. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I know he cheats, though. Or... well, let's just see what it looks like first before we do anything. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to save. Because... you don't know. Never know. So let's actually grab a... oh, it's multiple coins. Okay. So we can try this several times.
Here's my coin. Now, how do I play?
I place one cup on top of your coin like so. Then I shuffle them like so.
Is this all automated? Because we didn't get to see him put the cup over the coin.
Now, you guess which cup hides your coin. If you get it right, you win another coin, 3 in a row, and you win a prize.
Dude, we had no ability. I wish we had a magnet right now, because that would help us for sure. Maybe that's something we find. But yeah, as it is now, there's no way of figuring out what one it is.
It's this one, for sure.
Looks like you've got the wrong cup. It happens. A 1 in 3 chance, you know. But with coin in your pocket, you can always try again.
Alright, so... it would seem that this is not the time that we do this. So, let's do what we're supposed to do and go and see Abnaxus. Almost... well, maybe with the way I pronounce it, but it sounds like obnoxious. Which... to be fair, the way he speaks can be a little bit so. Flower bed.
It's a flower bed. There's plenty of room for more seeds to be planted in there. It's a flower bed. It looks to have been carved out of a large tree, but the texture of the house is more stone than bark.
That is very strange.
That's one mother of a plant. I wonder if it's a carnivore.
Ooh, I would hate to find out.
It's a solid oak door.
I'd hate to find out. I'd hate to find out. Sorry.
Enter, honored guest, and I would have been with you presently.
Yeah, the way he speaks kind of grates on me just a little bit.
Some of them look to be in English, but I know they're not. It's the Altung language Tobias told me about. The tongue of magic. Sounds a little disgusting, to be honest.
Seat.
It's a nicely crafted bench.
Is that a gesture of greeting?
Be welcomed, stranger, to my abode.
Stranger.
Stranger? Don't you remember me? You invited me here.
Every moment we meet, and every moment we part. You are both stranger and friend, April Ryan.
I'm sorry, but could you try to be a little less obtuse this time? I have a hard time understanding half of what you say.
I will beg for your forgiveness, April Ryan. I had a hard time to make myself understood amongst other peoples.
It's because of your perception of time.
I will pull myself into this moment, difficult as it may be, so that we can communicate and so that you may understand. It is important that you understand, April Ryan. Very important.
Especially if we are the one. Let's thank. Oh wait. Well, if we thank him for his hospitality, maybe that ends the conversation. So we'll just continue on.
Who are you?
I am Abnaxus of the Venar, ambassador to the Ireed Council in Marcuria. My people live far from here, and they do rarely visit your kind, and so I am their sole link to humans and Dolmari.
Why is that?
I alone among the Venar am able to focus on a particular moment and thread in time, and so to speak with those who flow with time, like you.
That's a very rare skill, apparently, and so having a skill like that would help him become the ambassador to people like us who live in present time.
How do your people perceive time?
It is hard to explain. Any moment before this moment and any moment after is the same to me as this one. I have lived already, and I am yet to live. Do you understand me?
I think so, but how's that possible?
Everything is possible, April Ryan. There is magic, and there is science, and between the two, everything is possible.
Yeah. Yes to one, everything is possible if you include the possibility of magic. And two, I was right. This does look like a conversation ender. So we'll continue on to deplete all the conversation options before we say goodbye. Because as we have seen, at least in this game, depleting conversation is important for certain characters. And this guy being possibly a lore dump machine, this is going to be very important.
Can you see the future?
To me, every moment is the same. There is no future. I can relate moments you have yet to see, and I can unravel possible threads. But remember, the future I see may not be the one into which you walk. Moments and threads fluctuate, change. I can remember things that have never come to pass, and I have seen things that will never be.
So you can't tell the future.
I would see your possible futures, the likely threads among hundreds. If there was not a veil in time, I would.
Though he can see multiple futures, meaning that he is able to see things that are in different dimensions or different realities or possibilities. The multiverse, if you are familiar with the Marvel storylines and stuff like that. I haven't seen the Flash yet as of this point, so I don't know if they dabble in multiple timelines or multiple realities and such. But I will say that it seems that he is able to perceive all of these things and he's still not gone crazy. So I guess what I said earlier about April being able to change her own fate or push fate differently still applies. It's just that he can see multiple possibilities. So whatever she decides to choose is the one that, well, is one of many that he can perceive at any one time. But probably that veil is her ability to push fate along, perhaps, or her decisions that she's yet to have made make him not be able to see things clearly for things that she hasn't made decisions for yet, if that makes any sense. I guess like him, I'm having trouble trying to relay what my thought is, but I don't know. We'll find out.
What's this veil you keep talking about?
Somewhere ahead, in our path, there is a dark veil through which I cannot pass, past which I cannot see. It is disconcerting to me to be blocked from the moments of my life.
How did this veil come to be?
It was, no, will be created in chaos, by chaos, to keep the future hidden. All threads converge on a single point here, beyond the veil, and this will happen only once. It is written.
Written? Where?
In the prophecies.
So it will only happen once. I mean, we, so he, maybe I'm wrong here, but what I understood is that he can perceive multiple realities, but he can't exist in multiple realities. And to me, it does seem as though he's still saying he can't see it. And to me, it's because she hasn't made the decision about what to do with her power to be able to change fate. And so it sounds like April is still undecided of what she's to do, which makes sense because we'd been following Cortez, but he's kind of acting a little shady with his talk with Father Raul. But at the same time, it doesn't seem that the Vanguard are nice people either, with their Hitler-esque depiction. So it's, I don't know. And this prophecy tells probably of April and what she is capable of, but doubtful. We'll find out, but it's doubtful that they tell exactly what she's going to do because she has the power to either push fate along with the intended courses to be, or to change it altogether.
Tell me about the prophecies.
Words have been written by seers who can discern from all possible threads the threads that are certain to be woven. These words are the prophecies.
So it's still just a guess.
And what do the prophecies say?
Prophecies speak of a time when the balance will falter, weakened by the assault of chaos and its servants. The moment the veil falls is the moment of uncertainty. The balance may stand, the balance may fall. I cannot tell which it will be, and I cannot even see the possibilities, the threads extending from each fork. But the prophecies also speak of a savior, as the prophecies usually do, one who will bring order to chaos, only to release chaos on the innocent, one who will restore the balance, only to finally break it.
That doesn't sound like a savior.
The word in my tongue is Kanang La. Literally translated, it means the small seed who grew to a tall tree.
So my thought is that as far as the game and the game mechanic, it sounds like at the end we're probably going to be able to choose whether we can break the balance or if we restore the balance, or it could be possible that we do both at the same time and we don't get to choose, but rather we do both by bringing both worlds together as one, and uh, maybe then divide them once again. I don't know. Considering that I think we're still pretty early on in the game, definitely less than halfway through, but there is probably, and given how the story is intended to be an epic story, I feel like there's going to be yet another antagonistic party, which will probably be even more of a threat than the Vanguard, and that may determine what we need to do and maybe even change our viewpoint of what needs to be done, and cause us to make decisions that make drastic changes to what everybody had been anticipating. So I don't know if that's the way it's gonna go, but I feel like that's probably gonna be how it ends up, and that's just from me me watching a lot of movies.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about yourself, Abnaxus?
Me? About myself? We, the Venar, are not good at speaking of ourselves. We always know who we are, and so we have no need to tell each other.
Well, that's nice.
Well, are you married? Do you have kids? Or perhaps your people don't marry?
Yes, we do marry, and we always know who we are to be with, because our future is also our past, and so we also know our children even though, according to your reckoning, they have yet to be born. My wife will be, the beautiful Abyanda. She lives by the Bay of Fire in the east. She gave birth to our 3 female children, Abratha, Abalexa, Abpalmana.
How long has it been since you last saw them?
It will
I
be.
see them now, April Ryan. Do not forget I perceive time in a different manner from your kind. I have given them your regards.
Well, say hi to them for me.
He just gave them your regards. Did you not listen to him? He just said it. Well, I guess maybe he wouldn't have given them her regards if she didn't eventually say it at some point. Yeah, that's so they know about their future, but yet they have no power to make changes to their future because then it would. Well, no, because then again they can see different futures, but he's so definitive about some of the things that happen that it seems that it seems maybe impossible to make changes to the future unless you have powers like April. I don't know. Like the logic is unraveling, and I guess that's the point, is that the logic is not supposed to be solid because we're in Arcadia, and logic has no place, right? Because logic goes to Stark.
Why did you come here to Marcuria?
I was chosen to be ambassador to Ireed when I showed a talent for seeing the flow of time from one point to the next. I was trained for a long time in locking myself into a single moment to communicate and understand your world. My people do not normally involve themselves with others, but the Veil has forced us to do so.
Why don't the Venar want to involve themselves with humans?
In the wrong hands, our knowledge is dangerous.
Absolutely.
To know of the possible fluctuating futures, this can be a weapon to some who flow with time. We cannot interfere with your time. We are not allowed.
But what if we ask really,
says?
really nicely?
The balance, the Guardian. The Guardian watches not only the balance between worlds, but also the balance within. Time is in balance, and if this balance is upset, the Guardian would know.
But there's currently no Guardian.
I thought the Guardian was gone.
Exactly.
So he is, and that makes it even more crucial to my people that we preserve the balance and not upset it. Chaos is our enemy, April Ryan, and we do our part to keep it at bay, as do you.
But, I mean, if you're gonna help us with our quest to be able to bring absolute balance, maybe you could bend your morality about the balance to help us out and help us cheat at the cup holder game.
Are you planning on ever going back to your people?
When we pass through the veil to the other side and time yet again opens up, I will return to my people. I look forward to that day.
Or look behind to it.
I miss my people, and it is hard to speak with your kind. It makes me tired.
I know what you mean. I'm a stranger here too.
You will bring us through the veil, April Ryan, and then we can both leave this place and go home.
Where is your home, Abnaxus?
Across the border mountains and north, to where the forests are evergreen, and where in winter the land turns white.
With snow?
Do you know Father Tobias?
Tobias is a faithful servant of the balance, and he is a good man. He leads the sentinel down a narrow path, but he never wavers. We are friends.
So, I can trust him?
Trust is a concept which often puzzles me. Amongst my people there is never distrust. We always know the truth. But amongst your people, amongst those who flow with time, trust is important, a fragile thing. But yes, I do think Tobias is to be trusted fully. I cannot see beyond the veil, but up to that point there is no thread in which he betrays your trust, April Ryan.
That wording is very hedging, because he cannot explain or understand the nature of a man, but rather the actions, which makes sense, because to determine the nature of a person, you have to take more than just their word for it. So you also take into account their nature by analyzing their actions, and he hasn't, up to the point of the veil, betrayed her trust. But that isn't to say that he is playing the long con and he is planning to betray her, but it only happens after this thing that he calls the veil, because that could certainly be the case.
Have you heard of a man named Cortez?
No, I have not. But that does not mean I do not know him. Names are often fleeting, April Ryan.
He's well, some have called him my mentor, others a nutcase. I'm not sure which it is, but I'm leaning towards the former.
Your mentor? He is a shifter as well?
Maybe?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so. He doesn't travel. Shift between Stark and Arcadia.
I do not see him in my life, April Ryan. I do not know him. Beyond the veil, perhaps, but not before.
Interesting. Okay.
Thanks, Abnaxus.
You are always welcome, April Ryan.
So, have we exhausted? Will she just say thank
Can
you?
I ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abnaxus.
Okay. Yes, we did.
You are always welcome, April Ryan.
I still kind of find it funny, like, when we do that. It's like, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Imagine, like, that's an actual conversation you have in real life.
I need some help in my quest.
Yes, you did.
I did? And what did you answer?
That I will help you as much as I can, but in the end...
I'm on my own. I've heard that one before.
Ooh, okay. We've got a lot more. This guy is a lore dump. I was right.
What do you know about dragons?
I do not know much about the kin, but I do know a little. Perhaps it will help you, perhaps not. The Draic kin came to this world a very, very long time ago, before the dawn of man, before the divide. The Venar had yet to learn to be outside time, and there were few other peoples on Earth. The kin played an important part in the divide, in separating magic from science, and in the founding of the Fathers, the Sentinel, to watch over the balance. It is said that after the divide of the 4 Draic kin that came to Earth, 2 went to Stark, and 2 to Arcadia. But that was a long time ago, 12,000 of your years. I do not know what has become of them since.
Most likely they died. But I thought there were a lot more of them. Wasn't there 12 of them in total? But he's only talking about 4 of them There was 12 plus the 13th person that became the Guardian.
You don't know where I may find these Drykin?
No, the white of the Dryakin, the mother, has, according to legend, been sighted. The tale of the silver spear of Gorimon speaks of the mother and her child. Though I think this is but a tale, and far from the truth.
The story is called The Silver Spear of Gorimon?
Yes, unfortunately I do not have this book myself, and I do not know of anyone who does.
I wonder if we need to know this.
What about the other dragon, the other Drykin?
Of the Dryakin, I only know of the mother, the white of the kin,
Although?
I have heard tell of a god who fell from the sky into the ocean a great long time ago. But this may also be just a tale.
Oh, but it's enough to have a diary entry.
What else do you know about this god who fell from the sky?
Only what I have told you. Someone with greater knowledge of the ocean and the creatures that live beneath its surface may be able to tell you more.
Oh, the sailors. Maybe either the sailor who only has a certain religion because it's convenient for him, or maybe the old sailor who has maritime stories, who made who made April just like pass out.
Have you heard of a disc that works as a key to the Guardian's realm?
Yes, but very little. It has been spoken of in the I Read Council only recently, brought to attention by the Tyrant ambassador. He wished to know where it is kept.
Of course he would.
And what was the answer?
No one at the council knows or admitted to knowing, and the ambassador was asked to speak with the Sentinel, which he is unlikely to concede to. The Tyrant are allied with the Vanguard, and so are in political and ideological opposition with the Sentinel. I know Vestrum Tobias. He would not speak a word with the Tyrant, nor the Vanguard.
Especially if they're in opposition of one
Not
another.
unless it was to challenge their philosophies.
So you don't know where I can find the disc?
No. Ask Vestrum Tobias.
Okay, I guess we're gonna ask him.
Do you know anything about a rift leading to the Guardian's realm?
I have heard speak of such a thing. I believe it was where the tower was built and the divide created. When the earth was one, it might still be open.
That gels with what
Any
we've heard.
idea where it is?
I am afraid the Venar were never very involved in the affairs of the Sentinel, nor took any part in the divide except to agree to the necessity of it. We had little choice but to concede. We are a magical people. We need the balance, because we could not survive without magic.
But when the world was one, it had both science and magic. And you, as magical creatures, existed during that time as well. And it was in the divide that you had to make the choice, or not really the choice, but were forced basically to have the choice thrust upon you to live in the realm of magic, which is the only place where you could survive. So if the worlds did not divide, then there would still be magic and you would still be able to exist, presumably. I don't understand, unless you're stronger when there's only magic present. I don't know. Does the absence of science make it so that you're able to have a physical presence, or what is up with that?
How would I go about fighting chaos?
You cannot fight chaos. It is not so simple. To oppose chaos, one must return order to that which has been affected by chaos, and thus reduce its powers. But this is not something everyone can do. Only those ordained by the balance can embark on such a dangerous task and survive.
Interesting. Bring order to things that have been touched by chaos, but order does not really exist in Arcadia, right? But Cortez said Arcadia is where the chaos is going to be assaulting and spill over into Stark after it's taken over.
That's about it for now.
I am glad I could be of assistance, April Ryan.
Well, yes and no, but sure. All right, I think we're done
Thanks
here.
for your hospitality, Abnaxus.
Goodbye. Blessings of the balance to you, April Ryan, and may your journey have been a long and fruitful one.
I hope so. I saw something about the seat here. Is this for sitting? Yes. Yes, it is. All she did was just sit for a bit. All right, guys. We got a lot dumped in on us right there, and I think I'm gonna leave the diary entry for the next time as well. I like doing that. I know it doesn't bring the video into like an action-packed beginning, but at the same time, it's an adventure game. It's not really action-packed to begin with, to be honest. So if you're going to be watching a game or someone play a game like this, you're not going to be expecting a lot of action anyways. If anything, you should be expecting a story, and I think the diary entries really add to that and help because she does an explainer, or at least to the best of her ability. I'm talking about April here. Does the best of her ability to explain to us what the story is. And for me as the player, it helps me to it helps to remind me what I need to do, or at least it reminds me of the things that have occurred in the last time, because it could be a day, it could be a couple of days, and fairly recently it could have been a week or a couple of weeks, where I need to know what I need to do next. So that helps me, so that's what we're going to do. I hope you guys have not been quite as confused as maybe perhaps I have been through this lore dumping. But if you are, hopefully we'll get some more clarification as we go further. But you'll have to come back and watch more to be able to do that. And I hope to see you there in the next one. And until then, bye.